So what if we put that power back into the Republican Party, and we could cause pressure from the middle, so to speak, because we would put pressure on the red party. What would, how would they respond if we swung our votes their way? They would have to address us at that point. To this point, we pretty much painted ourselves into a corner. We vote 90% Democrat, so they're allowed to take us for granted. Republicans can pretty much ignore us.
An ADOS dude, there was an ADOS dude named Bill something, Bill the Icon.
Right. Bring up all the dirty laundry.
Who we on? Bill, talk to us. Bill Money, let's get it.
Thanks, Sister Angela. I just want to put something into the ether. Salute to everybody on the panel. Shamika Michelle, been watching you on with Jason Whitlock. Loving you. And those was bars you dropped earlier. Just want to say salute. So you can sing and you can rap. So keep at that. But I just want to put something into the ether. We've been voting pretty much 90% Democrat since 1964, 1965. And recently, in the last couple of years, there was a movement, or at least there was talk about reclaiming the institutions that we used to inhabit and pretty much try to exert our influence once again. But they left out the Republican Party. And what if we swung, and I just want to, ask a question. I'm just asking, what if we swung 90%? Because at this point, we need to overcorrect. It's only two parties that we can work with. What if we overcorrect? What if we swung 90% to the Republican Party? I'm a registered Democrat, but I've been voting pretty much Republican since, when did Obama run again? 2012? He got me once. He couldn't get me again. So as I begin to realize what my interests are, deprogramming, I begin to be okay voting conservatively. As I begin to get older, my values tended to lean more conservative. And as a people, we tend to lean more conservative. So what if we put that power back into the Republican Party, and we could cause pressure from the middle, so to speak, because we would put pressure on the red party. What would, how would they respond if we swung our votes their way? They would have to address us at that point. To this point, we pretty much painted ourselves into a corner. We vote 90% Democrat, so they're allowed to take us for granted. Republicans can pretty much ignore us. So we're in the corner. We need to swing back and we need to overcorrect at this point in time, because we're in trouble, politically speaking, culturally, economically, educationally speaking, across the board. They're using illegal immigration once again as a tactic to offset Black progress. When Donald Trump was in office and Black unemployment was at its lowest point in recorded history, the Democrats were loath to even applaud that point when he gave his State of the Union address in 2018, if you guys remember that. He announced Black unemployment was at its lowest point, and the Republican side began to cheer. The Democrats pretty much sat on their hands. We need to get them off their hands and make them earn our votes once again. So I want to put that to the panel. What do you guys think would happen if we swung the other way, 90%, even if it's just a FU to the Democratic Party? And with that, I'll land.
Who want to take that on? Jeff, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I'll take that on. So what I've always said is that I don't want Black people voting 90% for Republicans, because what will happen is the Republicans will do exactly what the Democrats are doing now. Now, if you're talking about a swing 90% to Republicans for maybe an election season, something like that, I'd be down with that, because that would send a huge message. But over the long term, if Republicans get 90% of the Black vote and it's that reliable for decades, they're going to do the exact same thing because they have no competition. I don't see the Republican Party, even though I agree with more of their policies, I don't see them as morally any better than Democrats. They have to be held accountable. But if it's closer to 50-50, 60-40, something like that, then now Black people will be able to say, okay, both parties have to fight over us and fight for our vote. But if it's 90% Republicans and Republicans end up not having to compete, then the same thing's going to happen. That's just the way political parties work.
And I'm going to tell y'all the truth, because I run a campaign and I've worked for some, and I've heard it come out of their mouth like, why should we invest in the Black community? Like even Stacey Abrams said it on the 85 South show. you are only 12%, right, of the population, and then 90% of that 12 wants to vote Democrat, so they don't see any need. So I think that that's a great idea about swinging, demanding, because the Republican Party, the majority of the gatekeepers of the Republican Party are old and dying out, and they have to be replaced. And if we are mad and we are upset and we're talking about the Republican Party as racist and all of this, is the chance for every black person to get in and get a position in the Republican Party and do what we need to do for our people. Rico Gold, talk to us. You're the last one, and we got to close this panel. I got to let my panelists go. Talk to us.